BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guest here, Spencer Williams from the Lighten Up Initiative, and we're talking spicy hot games. And one of the games that you wanted to talk about was a game called The Alpha from Bicycle, the U.S. playing cards, people that are giving a push into board games. What can you tell us about The Alpha?
So they just are doing 2 games, and I think they're about to go out in stores here pretty soon. But one is The Alpha, one's called Exchange. But the one I was most interested in is The Alpha, and I didn't know a whole lot about it, but after playing it, I started thinking, okay, there's something here. I didn't know what to expect from the Bicycle company. But the idea is you play, it's a 3 to 6 player game, and each person has their own pack of wolves. And you have a board, and around the board are different locations, and the locations represent a different animal that you can go hunt. So there's like a moose, there's a deer, there's an elk, there's a beaver, there's fish. So each one of those has different amounts of food up for grabs. And whenever each round, what will happen is everybody will take a turn putting out their little wolf meeples and at the different locations. So you can see right there, there's a hare, beaver. You'll put them one at a time at the different locations. And the idea is you want to have the most wolves at each location. And if you do, you become the alpha pack. And if you're the alpha pack, you get to roll the die, and that tells you how much food you get for your pack. But if there's a tie for the alpha, you will do a thing called the prisoner's dilemma. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I've played this game twice. So.
Oh, you have played it?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's one of those things where you have a fight or share token, and secretly you and the person you're fighting against, or multiple people, can be multiple people, will choose either to fight or share. And if only one of you reveal fight, well, that person gets all the food. But if multiple people select fight, well, they don't get the food, and then you come away with an injured wolf. But if everybody has chosen share, well, then you all share the food. So it's just kind of one of those things where you either kind of have to read your opponent, or
a little negotiation, a little bluffing, a little table talk, right?
Right.
Knowing when to cooperate and when to defect.
Exactly.
So if you've ever played a game called Dead Last, it uses the prisoner's dilemma. But the twist that I like about the alpha with the prisoner's dilemma is the fact that you can sneak in with one wolf just in case you see that little tie. Tell them about that, Spencer. Do you know that mechanic I'm talking about, the scraps or scavenger?
Yeah. So from my understanding, it was that if there's a tie and both packs have chosen fight,
then they're both injured.
They're both injured, and you're still there with maybe one wolf. You will get the food.
You'll get the food. You'll get the scraps while the 2 wolf packs are fighting it over. If you've ever seen in these nature videos, you see the little wolf comes in and steals the food and runs away while the pack is distracted. That's basically what happens in this game.
Right.
So I will tell you, my 2 plays have been kind of uneven. I'm not so sure this is quite the game that would fit with most game groups. I'm not really recommending it, but I do enjoy that mechanic.
Yeah.
I enjoy the prisoner's dilemma, the table talk, the fighting. The rest of the game just seems like it could have used one more round of streamlining, maybe.
Yeah. I think that one of the things that makes it, sometimes disappointing is that a lot of times all of the food that you get depends on that one die roll, which can end up going nothing. You can end up getting nothing out of it.
Have you ever put 3 or 4 wolves fighting for one of the big ones, and then both of you roll an X and neither one gets anything? Boy, that's a killer.
Yeah. So I've only played it at 3 players. What's the most you've played it as?
I played it at 3 and at full 6.
Okay.
3 and 6.
Did you find one was better than the other?
I think if I'm going to play it, I'm going to play with more players.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I was thinking.
I don't think 3 was very fun at all. Yeah. I really don't. 6, I will say, there was a lot of backstabbing and table talk and negotiation. And I think that's so I'm not going to recommend it, but I'm going to tell you, if your group likes that table talk and negotiation and hey, let's go truce here. Come on, let's fight on this one. If you like that kind of stuff, then I think you might like the alpha.
Yeah, and that's what, because I recorded a review, hasn't gone up yet, but that was the kind of the thing I said was, if you're into strategy and that kind of thing, this isn't your game. But I think it does have an audience, especially if you're like this exactly type of group you're talking about. And if you don't want to, if you're just looking for like a good fun, just having a good time, backstabbing each other, whatever, depending on your group, you'll have a fun with it. I think a lot of people also like some of the newer people getting into board games, or maybe like, so if you're at Walmart, their whole idea is to sell these at, big box stores. So like I would recommend just someone having played nothing, pick this up over, something else. And then that gives them a little bit of a taste of, area control and the prisoner's dilemma, that kind of thing, that some basics that might want them coming back for more.
At least see a mechanic that they've never seen in a game before, thinking, oh, there's something different here.
Yeah, you're going to get a little bit of worker placement. You're going to get a little bit of area, not area control, area majority, right?
Area majority, yeah.
And you're going to get a lot of table talk and negotiation with that prisoner's dilemma. It's not really I split you choose because you don't pick the side. You either get it or you don't, or you pick up the scraps. Right. And I will say this: the first game that I reviewed with them, Shuffle Grand Prix, man, that just missed the mark. This game, I
haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, that was their first little board game that they came out with last year. It missed the mark for me. It's just not my type of game. It's look, if you like Cards Against Humanity or Munchkin or any of those type of games, then you're gonna like Shuffle Grand Prix. And I know a lot of people do, so I am not yucking on it. It's just not my type of game. Yeah. The alpha is getting closer, and the production value. Steve, I don't know if Spencer agrees with me because I haven't seen his review. The production value is really good, except for one thing. Do you agree with me that the dice color choices?
Yeah, I mentioned that. In my review. When we first played it, because we didn't play with a full player count. You don't play with all the animals, so we put the wrong dice with the wrong animal because they look the same color. And
Steve, it matters because the dice actually are completely different. These are unique dice for each animal. Which, by the way, bad on me. All you got to do is look at the dice and you see, okay, this one matches up to deer. But what's the first thing you do? You look at the color and you look at the dice and you grab them. I'm not the only one. Glenn from Board Games and Bourbon, he said the same thing. Hey, how does a game get this far and not have a better palette of colors for the dice? I don't know. But there are some fun moments in the game. I don't think I can recommend it. On the Dukes of Dice scale that Steve and I know real well, on the 0 to 6 scale, it's going to be a 3.5. So an average game, it's going to be good for some groups, maybe not good for others. I was telling Bradley from the Gumbo crew, I was like, you know what? This is a kind of game that if we're looking for something at the end of the night, we got 5 or 6 people, and we don't want to think too hard, but we want to trash talk, and we want to kind of push each other's buttons. The alpha would fit that, Spencer, don't you think?
I definitely agree. Yeah.
So, not something I can quite recommend, but something that I think that some groups are going to like, and good on Bicycle for seemingly improving their production and improving their gameplay. Hey, it's only their second game out, right? So we'll see what happens at that point.